Greetings, everyone. This is Terry Naturally with another edition of Terry Talks Nutrition. We're here every weekend, same time, same station, 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the morning, a.m. And we'd love to have you here. And thank you for being here and making this program as great as it is. It's wonderful to be able to talk to you, to share with you. I don't make decisions for you. I don't tell you what to do. I don't tell you to go off your drugs. That's between you and your doctor. My job is to present to you ideas and science, studies, and new concepts that may improve your health. No one, not the government, not doctors, not the drug companies. There's no one that features health and nutrition to American population. Doctors don't know anything about health or nutrition, and I'm not blasting them for it. They just don't have any education on it. It's not done in med school. Most of the med schools are subsidized by big pharma, and they want their drugs passed on to consumers, not health. Drug companies sell drugs for people that are sick or have a disease or have some viral infection or something. So the population needs to be sick in order for drug companies to be successful. And the government is in the back pocket of the drug companies. So we're really responsible for our health. No one else is going to help us. No one is going to jump in the water and save us. They're not going to feature health and nutrition to Americans, who probably about 50% of the Americans are obese, eating garbage food, man-made food, not nature, packaged foods, ultra packaged foods that have death written all over them. I think there are more people sickened and die from the diet we eat in America. All of our diseases, at least 98% of our diseases, are caused by lifestyle choices. And number one of those lifestyle choices is diet. Not that we're dieting, but diet means what we eat on a daily basis. And most of it is not very nutritious, very unhealthy, and not enough to supply the nutrients we need to maintain optimal health. So we have a responsibility to ourselves. If we want to be healthy, we've got to make a plan, because nobody's going to help us. And you really can't shop the aisles of the supermarket and buy too many things that are healthy. You're primarily better off by shopping the perimeter of the store. If you usually go in the front door and go to the right, it's going to be fruits and vegetables. Then you're going to make a turn through the cheese section, the dairy section, the meat section, and then you should be going out the door. Not much more for you to buy in the center aisles. They're all packaged, man-made, unhealthy, and have little or no nutrition at all, except calories from non-nutritious foods like white flour, white sugar, vegetable oils, coloring, flavoring, chemicals, and preservatives. What does that do for you? Nothing. But provide unnecessary calories. And this nation is way overweight. Unfortunately, the black population of our country is about 48% obese. Hispanic, about 44%. And white America is about 42%. We're all ranging from low 40s to high 40s in the level of obesity. So if you want to be healthy, you've got to know what to eat. You have to know how to live. You have to get some ideas, including supplements. Because our food today is not nearly as healthy as it was 2 or 3 decades ago. Our soil is so depleted. No nutrition is given back to the soil. It's all chemicals for fast growth, not natural growth. Animals are injected with antibiotics, hormones, for fast growth. So they want big animals to bring in big money. Too much fat in the animals. They're well marbled. It's better to use the natural way of your proteins, natural fats, and very low carbohydrates. That'll give you the best opportunity to maintain a proper weight, body structure, and health. So we try to present ideas each week, each show. So today we're going to talk about omega-7 from sea buckthorn. I'm sure you all heard of omega-3. That's a given. That's fish oil. Omega-6 is vegetable oil. And omega-5 is from pomegranate. But omega-7, where does omega-7 come from? It comes from a berry. It's an unusual berry. It grows in the Himalayas. It grows in China. And it has a very high concentration of omega-7. So the best way to do it is to make sure that we know about this berry, because omega-7 has a tremendous amount of benefits and has over 200 beneficial compounds within the berry, not the seeds. You would believe that the seeds contain all of the omegas. But in sea buckthorn, it's SEA, not vitamin C, not the letter C, but SEA, buckthorn. A very special berry. It does have seeds, but the seeds contain omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9, not omega-7. The omega-7 comes from the pulp or the flesh of the berry. It's the only berry like that. And I've seen products sold in health food stores that claim that they are selling omega-7 in the bottle of capsules or soft gels or liquid. And it says from the seed of the sea buckthorn. Seeds do not contain omega-7. Only the flesh or the pulp of the berry, not the seed. And many companies are trying to sell the seeds, claiming that it contains omega-7. Now, within the berry, it contains omega-7, vitamin E and vitamin C, beta-carotene, plant sterols, most of the minerals, and 60 different antioxidants. It's a nutrition bomb, as some call it. How does it work? Well, it can neutralize cancer-causing free radicals. No, we can prevent cancer, or we can cause cancer. Now, we know that smoking causes cancer because it damages the tissue in the lungs, and a variety of different cancers are caused by smoking. So we can improve our health by stop smoking. And what they call the new smoking is obesity. All those fat cells produce inflammation, and inflammation is associated with cancer. So it neutralizes cancer-causing free radicals, chemicals, preservatives, excessive sun, where the skin is burned. We need the sun, and we feel better when it's a sunny day. But be careful you don't burn the skin. That causes cancer. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory. It's an immune system modulator. It strengthens the cardiovascular system. And it regenerates mucous membrane tissue. Now, here are some things to remember. It improves all of the mucous membranes in the body. Your skin is a mucous membrane, although it's dry. But if you put your finger in your mouth and you rub the side of your mouth internally, orally, that is also a mucous membrane, but it's a wet mucous membrane. So when you have dry mouth or dry eyes or dry vagina, these are all areas of wet mucous membranes covering the tissue. So we can make those tissues much more healthy by regenerating them with a mucous membrane that is moist and hydrated. In fact, even though that our skin is dry, it's not wet to the touch, but it can be overly dry, where it cracks and rough and scaly. And sea buckthorn hydrates the skin up to over 50%. You know, I know ladies love potions, creams, serums to beautify their skin, beautify their face. And while that's all good, but you know, all of our beauty and the beauty of all the ladies comes from within. We can nourish and feed the beauty from within. One of the real supplements for that is the sea buckthorn. And it can do many more things than just hydrate the mucous membranes, like if you have dry eyes. I just had a person write me and ask me, what can I do for double vision? Whenever I look to the left, I see two cars coming down the road, so I don't pull out. Then when those two cars get really close to me, they become one. So they're seeing double vision. What causes double vision? Well, there are a few things that cause double vision, but one of them is dry eyes. So if you have dry eyes, you can also have a possibility of having double vision. Also, in a randomized, placebo-controlled clinical study of women with Sjogren's disease or syndrome, which is an autoimmune disease that damages the glands in the body that produce moisture. So over 80% of the subjects, the participants, saw an improvement in their symptoms, including dry eyes and mouth, joint pain, vaginal itching and burning, after using Buckthorn in soft gel capsules. Like a 500 milligram soft gel capsule. And the research and the studies have proven anywhere from 1 soft gel to 4 soft gels. And in the case of vaginal itching and burning, it took up to 6 soft gel capsules, like 3 grams of oil. In a separate study, a clinical study of 100 people with dry eyes, taking 4 capsules daily of Buckthorn, significantly relieved dry eye symptoms, including double vision, redness, burning, and tearing, because sometimes the eyes will tear more trying to moisturize them. So there are uses for omega-7 Buckthorn oil. You can buy the oil, or you can buy them in soft gel capsules. And they are used for those that have dry mouth and dry eyes. Dry mouth commonly comes from a mouth breather, drugs, and sometimes things like even some of our food, dry wine. Some people like to drink a wine that is on the dry side. Has a lot of tannins. Tannins dry the mouth out. Tannins are what is used to tan leather. Dries out the leather. So we can have dry mouth for a number of reasons, and dry eyes. Sjogren's syndrome. Also peptic ulcers. Irritated, itchy skin, and treating and preventing wrinkles. Yes, from within. If you have the right nourishment that you consume will go to the skin as well. It doesn't have to be applied topically to have beautiful skin. Dryness and other symptoms of prematurely aging skin. Also used for the prevention of atherosclerosis and heart disease. Menopausal problems, including dry vaginal tissue. Any health condition involving inflammation, especially involving the mucous membranes. We can hydrate the body. Hydration is very, very important for a healthy body. Drink plenty of water. Coffee doesn't count. Tea doesn't count. Juices don't count. Water. Put the water back in the body when it needs to be hydrated. And good, healthy mountain water, spring water. I don't recommend ever city tap water. Most tap water around the country is treated with chemicals like chlorine to make sure that it's bacteria-free. But they also add sodium fluoride, and that's a drug. It's a chemical. We don't need that on a daily basis. If you want a drug, go see your doctor. Or your doctor may prescribe a drug for you. But don't let anybody add it to our water. Next will be adding it to our food. And also, omega-7 sea buckthorn oil can affect all the mucous membranes within the body, and including the covering of the body, healthy skin. You know how much to take and what to look for. Well, for basic health maintenance, look for a 500 milligram capsule, soft gel capsule, and probably one a day is fine. But if one a day doesn't have enough effect for you to have moisture on your skin, you won't see it, but your skin will be softer and smoother and more hydrated. It will not be dried out. It will not be cracking. Now, treatment dosages is usually somewhere between 2 to 3 grams daily. 2 grams would be 4 capsules. 3 grams would be 6 capsules. So look for sea buckthorn oil from the berry, not the seed. Now, the berry and the seed can be put together to give you omega-7 and omega-3 and omega-6 and omega-9. That is great. And usually you want the berry that is processed by a very superior form of extraction called supercritical CO2 extract. CO2 extract is an extremely excellent way for extracting certain compounds and active components from all kinds of foods or herbs. And there are no heavy metals, no contaminants when it's done with a CO2 extract. Now, if you want, the soft gel capsules can be chewed. Not necessary. But then the oil can be swished in the mouth to hydrate the oral cavity. The taste is relatively mild, pleasant tasting. It's not bitter or sour or tart. But this is a good way to bathe the tissues of the mouth directly. And that can be helpful for many certain conditions. So remember sea buckthorn to hydrate your body and make a more moist mucous membrane throughout your body. It works extremely effective. It's sold all over the world. There are plenty of studies on sea buckthorn. Now let's talk about testosterone, commonly called low T. What are the adverse effects of low testosterone? Not high, but low. Well, researchers looked at the effects of 11 previously published studies on the effects of testosterone on lifespan. And all the studies had followed subjects, participants, for at least 5 years. So the result of this survey of all these people, men, of course, with low testosterone, had an increased risk of early death from any cause. And men with very, very low testosterone levels had an increased risk of death, specifically from heart disease. Some people claim that we should not have a high testosterone level when we're older, in the elderly. They say it may cause prostate cancer or other forms of cancer. Well, there are many men suffering from heart disease, cancer, and they have low testosterone levels because it just decreases as the body ages. And this study confirms previous research that testosterone isn't just about sex drive. Testosterone strengthens men, bone strength, muscle strength, mood strength, happy, much more productive. It's not just about a high libido and an erection and sex drive and muscle building. One study found that men with low testosterone levels were over 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with heart disease when compared to men with normal testosterone levels. Now, I got to go into a break. And I've got more to tell you about testosterone. And I don't want to get a start and then stop. So I'm going to let a few seconds go by. And we're going to pause. And we're going to go into a commercial break. Listen to the commercials. Or go out, get a drink or whatever you want to do. Come on back, though. Because I'm going to be here. And I'm going to be here till the top of the hour. And I don't want to miss you. This is a very interesting information, and I don't think you want to miss it. So stay right where you are, or come back in a few seconds. I'll be here to the top of the hour. This is Terry Naturally with Terry Talks Nutrition. And greetings again. This is Terry Naturally with Terry Talks Nutrition, and we're going to be talking about testosterone. I kind of broke in half of what I wanted to say about testosterone. Testosterone isn't just for having sex. It is not just for increasing your libido. Well, while that works, yes, we need a high testosterone level or a normal level to have good sex life. But also it strengthens the muscles, gives muscle tone. You don't have to work out. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to build big muscles. But better strength, better muscle tone, not soft and fat and flabby. And also bone density, a better attitude, a better mood, less depression. And also it can boost your level of testosterone for a longer life, a longer lifespan and health span. Now, how do you do this? Well, there are nutrients that have been proven to boost testosterone. And I'll give you a list of the nutrients, and maybe you might want to look for a formula that contains these nutrients that'll improve your testosterone levels. The best way, 2 of the most important ones I know, ashwagandha and DHEA. DHEA is the beginning of your hormones in the body. It's the mother, well, not exactly. Pregnenolone is one of the mothers of all hormones. And it produces DHEA. But we can take DHEA without having to take pregnenolone, which makes it more effective because it goes directly to producing a better level of hormones. Hormones are not bad. We need them. That's who we are. We're men and women because of hormones. And we should combine ashwagandha and DHEA for a higher level. In fact, ashwagandha increases testosterone by 33%. 33%. And combine that with DHEA, which is a hormone from the adrenal gland that produces testosterone. Then add boron. Boron is a mineral. It increases the plasma-free testosterone after just 1 week as a supplement by 28%. And then the product called DIM, D-I-M, frees the bound testosterone. It balances all the hormones in the body, male or female. A clinical study on male patients undergoing treatment for prostate cancer treated with DIM saw a 38% increase in testosterone levels. Does not cause prostate cancer. Some doctors still convince their patients don't take testosterone because it'll increase prostate cancer. All the studies show it does not. And then add the P5P, biologically vitamin B6. It does not have to be converted in the body to B6. It is directly a B6 converted, so it has a biologically active form that goes directly to work. Doesn't have to go to the liver for conversion. And low vitamin B6 levels have been linked to low testosterone and increased estrogen. So you want to make sure that you have vitamin B6 as well to maintain that it converts to estrogen and not, to testosterone and not to estrogen. Because DHEA can be converted to estrogen. That's why women can use DHEA. Women that are going through menopause, if they take 5 to 15 milligrams of DHEA, they're going to sail right through menopause. They're going to feel fantastic. But we have to have B6 to do that, to make sure that men get testosterone and women get estrogen. And then there is zinc. Zinc actually increases free testosterone levels, especially effective for men who already have low zinc levels. Now this combination, ashwagandha, DHEA, boron, DIM, P5P, and zinc are extremely effective for increasing the levels of testosterone. And this is a formulation that you can take frequently during the day, 1, 2, 3 servings, but take it daily. Now this is a really good combination you want to take to maintain a healthy testosterone levels. So it makes it really, really effective and give you a better bone density, better muscle strength. It gives you a variety of conditions. So let's talk about what is the difference between ibuprofen and acetaminophen. Have you ever wondered that? What should I take? If you are going to take a drug, which I definitely would not recommend, I think there are much, much better natural products that are more effective than ibuprofen and acetaminophen. But let's explore this. These are over-the-counter pain products. and they're not all the same. Ibuprofen is an NSAID. That's NSAID. NSAID. That stands for non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. It's a steroid. It's an anti-inflammatory. And it's a drug with side effects. These stop your body from producing inflammation compounds by blocking an enzyme called COX. COX-2. COX. COX-2. NSAIDs are one of the most commonly used medications for arthritis and other inflammatory conditions, but they have lots of side effects and lots of adverse effects, such as an increased risk of heart attack, ulcers, and kidney damage, as well as liver damage. So there are major side effects. There are brand names: Advil, Motrin. There are many other NSAID drugs aside from ibuprofen. For example, aspirin is also an NSAID. And what about acetaminophen? Well, that's better known by the name Tylenol. It is not an NSAID. Does not work the same as ibuprofen. And there are no other drugs like it. It has a class all of its own. Still a drug, but there's no other drug like Tylenol. Acetaminophen, Tylenol, reduces pain but does not relieve inflammation. And really, no one, no scientist, no chemist, no expert, no one is exactly sure how it works. There are many drugs like that. They know they work. They test them in clinical studies. They test them on people. They know they work, but they don't know why they work. Wouldn't you want to know why something works? Well, possibly by blocking the COX-2 enzyme, the COX-2 pathway in the brain to dull the perception of pain. That's one theory. Not even known if that's right or not. But it's a theory by experts. Now, acetaminophen is far, far more dangerous than ibuprofen. It has a lot of side effects and a lot of adverse effects as well, and is the number one cause of acute liver failure. Now that's serious. That's a major, major side effect. So what can we do to replace these drugs? There are many natural options safely relieving pain. There are many natural ways to relieve pain very safely. With some experimentation, and that's what it takes. You know, doctors don't know if the drug they prescribe for you will work or not. So if it doesn't work, you go back to your doctor and they try another drug. So you can experiment with yourself with natural options, natural alternatives, which don't have side effects, so you don't have to worry about hurting yourself. And when you experiment with yourself, you can find one that works for you. Now, there's a variety of natural products, natural formulations. Now, if you have any kind of pain, a combination of curcumin, boswellia, DLPA, and nattokinase is a very, very effective combination. In fact, one of the most commonly prescribed drug for arthritis is Celebrex. And curcumin and boswellia together, that had a study conducted where the two herbs were pitted against Celebrex, and they came out equally as effective. Curcumin and boswellia was equally as effective as the drug, as Celebrex. But there were no side effects from the curcumin and the boswellia. And there were many major side effects to the group that was given the drug, Celebrex. Now, if you want to work on joint pain and arthritis, there's another really good combination of herbs that may be highly effective. Curcumin, again, boswellia. They're the major heavy lifters, the major components of pain reduction and inflammatory reduction, anti-inflammatory. But curcumin and boswellia for joint pain and arthritis also included devil's claw. Devil's claw is a root that is harvested in South Africa. Now, if you have back pain, what kind of combination of options and natural alternatives would be effective? Well, again, the heavy lifters, curcumin and boswellia. Devil's claw, white willow, DLPA. Just as a reference, white willow was the beginning of aspirin. That's where it was found to work, from white willow bark. That's for pain, that's for back pain. All pain is not the same. And that's why there are different ingredients designed to support reduction of pain and inflammation, joint pain and arthritis, back pain. Now let's talk about nerve pain, like neuropathy. People that have numbing of their feet and hands. They can't even feel their feet. When they walk, they kind of shuffle because they can't feel their feet. And they have numbing and tingling and kind of buzzing in their fingers, their toes. That's nerve pain. The nerves are damaged by what? Type 2 diabetes. And what does that mean? Sugar. Sugar causes nerve pain. And then alpha-lipoic acid, boswellia, B vitamins, zinc, and chromium. It stabilizes the blood sugar, reduces the nerve pain, and is an excellent cure for neuropathy. Now, we can even treat some pain topically, like a sprained ankle or twisted knee or a bad back or joint pain of any kind, shoulder joint pain, knee pain. We can treat it topically. Any kind of pain. Scrapes, abrasions, sunburn, insect bites, bee stings, sunburn. We can treat topically pain and have pain relief with comfrey cream. Comfrey is one of the oldest healing plants in the world for pain and healing. It was used in the war. Even in World War I, it was used to treat a variety of wounds and abrasions, to heal. It also has other names, like bone knit and knit wart. Wart is plant. A plant to knit the body back together again. Bone knit. When there's broken bones and you apply the cream to the broken bones, they will heal faster. Comfrey cream is a truly, truly excellent medicinal cream for healing the body from a variety of pain, sprains, trauma, black and blue marks, you name it. If you want to heal the body back together again, you can rely on comfrey cream. So is a broken hip worse than cancer? Well, let's find out. A hip fracture or hip fractures are very dangerous. In fact, in a new study, researchers looked at survival rates after a fracture. A hip fracture or any other type of fracture. Almost 100,000 adults over the age of 66 who experienced a bone fracture associated with osteoporosis were compared to similar aged adults with no history of fractures. Hip fractures, of all fractures, were the most dangerous. 1 year after a hip fracture, just 68% of men and 78% of women were still alive, versus 92% of men and 93% of women with no fractures. After 5 years after the fracture, less than a third of the men and half of the women were still alive. While we're on this topic, as the elderly become more frail and have less strength and less muscle structure, the most common cause of death in the elderly is a fall. Falling down the stairs, falling on the concrete, falling somewhere. 50% of those that have fallen do not recover and die within the year. The 5-year survival rate for hip fractures in older adults is less than many common cancers. 5-year survival rate for breast cancer is 89%. 94% for prostate cancer, and 64% for any kind of cancer in older adults. And in a hip fracture is not anywhere near any of those percentage rates, less than many common cancers. There's 3 ways, natural ways, to build stronger bones and reduce the risk of osteoporosis and hip fractures. First of all, a solid nutritional foundation with a multivitamin and mineral supplement is critical, is absolutely necessary. Mineral deficiencies are more common than vitamin deficiencies. Therefore, you may want to look for a multivitamin and mineral supplement that features chelated trace minerals. Silica, for example, from horsetail. From horsetail. Horsetail is a plant. It's a reed. Studies have shown that silica can increase calcium absorption by 50% and bone density by 15%. Take 40 milligrams of silica twice daily. Women will love it. They'll have better hair, stronger hair. Hair will grow faster. Nails will be hard as nails. Women love hard nails, nails that grow, nails that don't break. And then the trace mineral, strontium, 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 is also necessary for optimal bone health. With studies using strontium in the treatment of osteoporosis, showed significant improvements in bone mineral density. Now look for a formula that contains strontium citrate. Strontium citrate. citrate, citrate, which is a very absorbable form of strontium. Take about 680 milligrams of strontium at breakfast. And if you're taking calcium, make sure you take your calcium at least 2 hours away after breakfast. Not that they're dangerous together, but they both use the exact same pathway to be absorbed in the body. So if you have two minerals fighting for the same pathway, one's going to lose. And one's going to be taken up and the other one will not. So you want to make sure that you have an open pathway for both minerals. So take them separately by 2 hours at least. So take your strontium at breakfast, take your calcium at lunch and dinner. That might be even a better way. So my friends, that darn clock on the wall, it's already to the top of the hour. And that means I've got to fly out of here. So before I fly out of here, I want to tell you, I love what you're doing. I hope that you are taking some of these ideas and making use of them to make yourself stronger and healthier and have better vitality and better health. And reach a nice old age. Like I always say, I want to die young, but at a very old age. So I wish you the same. I wish you would say a prayer for this crazy, crazy world. And God bless you, my friends. And please think about this country. We are in dire shapes. Pray for this country. This is a great, magnificent country. God bless it.
Thank you for listening to Terry Talks Nutrition Weekly Show. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform, including Apple, Google, and iHeartRadio.